Welcome to episode 3 of Wine Not. I'm Michael.
And I'm Maggie.
We're coming to you from WineStyles in downtown Evanston. And today, we're going to tell you how to get the most out of a tasting. You started ahead of me. I don't know. All right, Maggie, let's taste some wine.
Okay, so we can break it down very easily. It does not have to be a full-on class session. It's just tasting wine in an easy, casual atmosphere.
Right, so what's the first step, you think?
Swirl. You want to get a little movement in the glass so you can see what you're about to taste. Get an understanding of the viscosity, the color, the clarity. Is it cloudy? All these things that are going to definitely come into play in your observance.
I love looking at the color. Now, people do it against a white background a lot of times, correct?
Right, that's smart. Just so you can see more. Is it purple? Is it garnet? Is it claret? What are you getting out of the color of the wine?
And what do you think this one is?
I would say it's garnet.
Lovely. It's really pretty.
It is gorgeous.
And then once you've looked at it, which is kind of the least enjoyable part of it, I suppose, what's the next step that we can do?
Sniff.
All right. And I like to just get my nose in there. Really?
Your nose actually stops when it gets intense notes on it. It's going to stop working after about 6 seconds. So sometimes you do want to take a big inhale, but also
little sniffs.
Yeah. And people say that women's noses work a little bit better than men's, and when you get older, your intensity of that sense diminishes.
And I like to hold it by the stem, because I found that if I hold it by the bowl, it will warm up the wine sometimes, particularly when it's a white wine.
Definitely why the stem was created. Of course, white wines will get the warmth of your body. Reds will warm up even more than they are. So yeah, the stem, hold by the stem. You don't have to be all, weird about it and hold at the base, but just by the stem is totally acceptable.
Right. And then when you sniff, you're trying to think of what it reminds you of.
What notes are you getting out of it? What are you getting out of that one?
Nutmeg? Maybe some vanilla?
Some dried spices I get.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely some cola.
Mm.
It's delicious.
Smells great. All right, that was fun. Now, step 3, perhaps?
The best part?
Yes.
The sip.
And you want to get as much of the wine all over your palate as possible.
Really take it in, kind of let it play around on the different parts of your tongue.
And again, this is just what it reminds you of. There's no trick questions here. It's just what it makes you think of.
People are so different with what they receive from wine. Some people might feel it's hot. Some people might feel it's too tannic. Some people might say it's so smooth and fruity and juicy. No one's wrong. Their perception is reality.
Right. So what do we get off this one?
Chocolate-covered raspberries.
I agree on the raspberry. And still more of that dried nutmeggy. Oh, it tastes great. It tastes great.
Now, the finish is something you also want to pay attention to. Is how is it lasting? What's that lasting impression that you get?
How long the taste stays in your mouth.
Does it have a long, smooth finish? Is the acidity balanced with the tannins in the fruit? This is a very nice wine.
It's delicious.
So we swirled
to
kind of get an understanding of what we've got coming. What's the viscosity? Is it heavy or light like water? Does it have a lot of cloudiness? Is it clear? What are you getting out of that? And then the sniff.
The sniff.
Interpret what you've got going through.
What do you smell? What do you smell?
Half of your tasting experience comes through your nose.
Right.
Then you taste it, and then you're going to savor the ending. Some of these wines might remind you of your first boyfriend, or these past experiences, a lovely day you spent in Europe, or whatever. These smells and flavors definitely hit.
And that is the most fun part for me. I love that bit about it.
Yeah.
And then we sip. These are the tasting, and then we
savor
the ending and see how long it lasts on our mouth.
So do we have to memorize this, or we can just come and enjoy wine?
Oh, I think it's all about coming and enjoying it.
Yeah. So there's some do's and don'ts in the seriousness of all this. Pick up a glass of wine, try it. You don't like that one, move on to another one. It's just juice.
Yeah.
Don't take it too seriously.
And I think taste as many wines as you can.
Yeah.
I mean, we do free tastings here all the time, and it's really the best way to educate yourself about what you like about wine. Is tasting as many as possible.
Do not miss an opportunity to taste wine.
Absolutely.
So you want to go through the quick do's and don'ts?
So yeah, do's and don'ts for going to a wine tasting?
Just about tasting wine.
Okay.
Yeah. So first, don't be too worried about your wine knowledge. If I get a dried spice off the smell and you don't, does that mean that you're going to like the wine less than me?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. And taste as many wines as possible.
Absolutely. My favorite.
Don't worry about what you're wearing.
Come as you are. Come as you are and enjoy it.
It's just juice. Don't be too quick to judge the wine. Definitely take your time to get introduced to it. I say take 3 sips before you really can make a judgment.
I think you're right, because the first taste, you got to get a sense of what it is, and by the third taste, you can actually assess whether you even like what you're tasting.
By then, maybe it's gotten on all parts of your tongue, and you can really take it in. Don't move too quickly from one wine to another. Always do some kind of palate cleanse.
Oh yes, we have our breadsticks for that today.
That way, you're going to give each individual wine its own stage. Cleanse the palate, move on to the next. So no lingering flavors from the first wine is interrupting your experience with the next wine.
I shouldn't have had a breadstick.
That's okay. Don't be worried about having to like each wine or dislike each wine. Everyone is different. If everyone liked the same wine, we would carry one wine and 1,000 bottles of it.
Exactly.
So everyone has their own interpretation, their own reception. Be open-minded, I would say, as a do. Again, if your friend likes that one the best, you don't, be open-minded on trying something else maybe that you both will enjoy.
Give it a shot. You can always not like it. Just try something new every time.
Yeah, and then lastly, like we already mentioned, don't miss an opportunity to taste some wines. We have wine tastings all the time, and we'd love to share them with the audience. Maybe share this particular wine.
Yes. Come in and try it out with us. It's great.
Taste, learn, and enjoy.
Cheers. Thank you once again for joining us on Wine Not. We want to remind you that here at WineStyles in downtown Evanston, we have tastings twice a week, at a minimum. You were going to say that. We have them every Thursday and every Saturday. And also, don't forget to check our website down here. That's where we post special event tastings and winemaker tastings as well.
You can find us on Facebook also.
So thank you so much. And come have a taste with us in person. We'd love to see you. Cheers.
Cheers.